What's going on, YouTube land? Today we're back on the Duramax van that we were cleaning the other day, and we're going to address that bad alternator. This doesn't look that great. It's a used alternator. I'm told it works. It's a little gummy, so I'm going to take it apart and oil it and grease it, and we'll see if it works together. I hope so. We'll find out. So one quick thing I like to do with the used alternator when I get it after I know it's free is to spin it up with a gun and then pull it off and make sure the bearings don't make any weird noises, that it spins freely. If there's any dirt or debris, it'll come out now. So this is a good thing to do, because spinning it by hand, sometimes you'll hear a bearing if it's really bad. But if you want to know that the bearing's not completely bad, spin it up to a higher RPM before you install it. Make sure that that bearing's not whining. So I'm going to clean this up best I can, grease and oil it, and then I'll bring you back when we're going to the van. So this is the exact reason I clean a used alternator and check it over. This winding right here isn't even soldered anymore. I don't know if you can see that, but it's supposed to attach right there like these legs. That one's completely snapped in half, and it looks like it's been melting for a while, so I wouldn't trust this alternator. I'm just going to buy a brand new one. So that's why you do it. And like movie magic, poof, it's a new day, new outfit. I picked up a new alternator because, as you saw in the last one, there's no saving that one. I could have technically soldered it and prayed for the best, or bought a new winding. But it's cheap enough to buy a new alternator, and we upgraded. We went from the 100 amp alternator to a DR44, which is a 145 amp alternator. So if I'm already in there, why not upgrade? Brand new, and we'll put this in today and see how that turns out. So on a Duramax van, the alternator is hidden back here between the intake tube and the coolant bottle. Pretty sure all I gotta pull is a coolant bottle to get it out, but we're gonna find out together. The coolant bottle has one bolt, one very rusty bolt. That is definitely gonna snap. I'm gonna have to drill this one. This is one time I'm happy to eat my words. This just slides out from the firewall. I'm going to have to pull this half of the hose up and unplug the sensor under it. There's a level sensor. This is a large coolant hose, so what I'm going to do is rotate it and just put it out of my way. Now it's on top of the battery, upside down. As long as your cap's shut tight, shouldn't be leaking. This trans tube's already broken, so I can just move that out of the way for now. Project for another day. And the oil dipstick tube, I'm going to bend up a hair. So now, the tensioner is literally right there. I'm hoping that makes it easy. Let's see. Okay, some more movie magic has happened. I had to take some of this apart off camera because I was in the way of the camera. But from what I can see, now that I have the ratchet on the tensioner, is that I'm going to have to pull the grid heater out. Now, a lot of you guys are going to say it's a Duramax, it has glow plugs. It doesn't have a grid heater. Early Duramaxes, LLYs, LBZs, and I think even the LMMs had a grid heater on top of having glow plugs. So I'm going to pull this out of my way so the ratchet has enough room to reach all the way over here when the tension's off it. So we'll see if that works, and then I'll bring you back. Now that I have the intake neck off, let me show you the grid heater. This is a grid heater. The battery connection's there, the truck connection's there that turns this on and heats the air before the truck starts. So we're going to remove this out of our way, and then I feel like I'll have enough room when the tension's released to bring the ratchet to here and take it off so I can get at this alternator. Plus it'll give me a little more room to snake that out of this tight spot. So, next scene. Alright, we're back again. So now, we'll get everything out of our way, belts out of our way. Expresses with Duramaxes are the only one with this bracket. And the reason for that is because the alternator has to go out straight. There's not enough room to lift it. So if you're doing a Duramax in an Express, you should take your air box. It's just because it's in your way of your arm. You should take out your boost tube right here and your grid heater. And then you're going to have this little bracket. Looks just like this. Goes underneath the alternator. There's 3 small 9/16 bolts underneath, or 14, and then 2 15 mil bolts hold the alternator in through these. So next, I will get that out of there, and we will get the new one installed. We're going to do a do as I say, not as I do thing here. I just wanted to give a warning on one of these. Unhook your batteries. You have a battery up here and a battery under the box of an Express. I know it sucks to climb under and unhook it, and you know, you should. You got 2 12-volt batteries with probably about 1,000 cranking amps apiece. You'll weld your tools or the wiring to the truck and start a fire. Now, I didn't show that at the beginning, and I've done about 1 million alternators, so I can get away with taking this off, wrapping it in rubber, zip tying it, keeping it out of my way. But if you were new to this, or you're not confident in yourself, you could literally burn your truck to the ground. So make sure you do that. Unhook your batteries. Now we're just going to try to snake this in, see if it'll fit. I don't know if a DR44's ever been in a van. Well, looks like it fits. Let's see if the bracket will fit. And I'm sorry for the heavy breathing today, but New England has been in the most humid season we've had in my entire life. So it's quite hot here. See if I can line this bracket up with the engine block. There are 2 kind of like dowels for the bracket to sit in. All you get to see is my arms. Sorry, they're not very small, they get in the way. So now we'll put back the 3 bolts that hold the alternator bracket. They're just short little bolts. And hopefully I can get all this to line up happily. So far it looks like it'll fit. Start this with a ratchet because there's not a lot of room. You don't want to tighten these till you have them all lined up, but I can start it with this. This heat is making this miserable. And anyone who wants to give me crap for wearing gloves, I get it. But I have a petroleum allergy. A mechanic that's allergic to fuels and oils. Makes a lot of sense. That lined up great. So apparently you can put a DR44 in an Express. Any chance I can put an upgrade in, I will. I'll spend the money. Now you get to skip a bunch of video because I'm going to put the belt on, which is a nightmare. Trying to hold the tool and get it up in there. And then I'm going to put the grid heater back, the intake tube, and the air box, and then we'll start up and see if it charges. I lied, you get to watch some of the assembly. The reason is there's some things that you might not notice when you're putting yours together that you have to do. The power cable for the grid heater that goes to the battery goes around the oil fill tube. Then there's a gasket that's for the back of the grid heater. The front is O-ringed. Then your elbow, there's a part number on the top of it so you can know which side's up. There's also a little lip the hose sits against. What I like to do is start the first two, and that way I can keep the gasket aligned. Okay, and then I'll start them on the engine. The rest of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. It's going to be boring watching me do it, but you got an intake tube, you got an air box, you got, you know, mass airflow sensor to plug in, put your coolant bottle back. But when I'm done with all that, I'll bring you back, we'll jump start this thing, and we'll see if it's charging. Sorry I didn't get to bring you in on the real-time video. I jump started it with my Power Stroke. So there's two diesels running. It's very loud outside. But the jump started. Right now we're putting out about 13.9 on the meter, which is good because both batteries were dead. The AC's on and everything. I got lights on, so that's why it's putting 13.9. The Christmas tree is because engine light is for our glow plugs. We got about 6 of them we get to do on this, which should be a real pleasure. The brake light's on and the ABS light's on because of the blown brake line. And then the airbag light is on for a rear crash sensor, which I already showed you the rear body damage. So when we fix the rear body damage, we'll replace that. The next thing on this project is going to be the brake line, which I'm probably not going to bring you in for. Everybody's seen a mechanic flare a brake line and yell at it and forget to put the nut on first. I've done that a couple times. You never learn. So I'll do that nightmare by myself, and then the next video you'll see will probably be sanding and painting the rockers, doing the power wash video on this thing, and maybe heat gunning the decals off. I'm really sorry about all the sweat and the breathing, but it's 100 degrees out today and it's 100% humidity. It's been a nightmare up here lately. So I wanted to get this video done because I promised you 2 videos, and the next few days are going to rain, so it's going to be horrible. But in a couple days I'm going to bring you back. We're going to do that fun power wash video, get the decals off it, and start making it our own. And I have a new project. I bought a really cool project. I may put the teaser at the end of this video, or I might leave you hanging just for the fun of it. I don't know yet. But it's literally about 300 yards away from me. And it'll be another cool, fun one. So please follow, you know, subscribe, like, share it. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Patreon, I'm on all the things. Everything you do just helps me build more of these. Just subscribing is a huge help. So I'll see you on the next video. Hopefully in like 2 to 3 days I'll have another one up. Alright? Thanks guys.